So when they move into second year, you can keep the same 3 subjects again, or you can drop one subject if you want. So in this example, the person's had enough of archaeology. They maybe thought, I don't know, they were going to become Indiana Jones if they did archaeology, and it's not quite like that. So they've decided they're going to become a philosopher instead. So they take philosophy for second year. It's only at the end of second year that you actually specialise in Scotland in your final degree subject. So this is quite an easy example. The person still likes history and continues with history and gets a history degree. They graduate and they have credits for these other programmes as well. But if this person had decided after the end of second year, I don't want to do history, I really want to do classics, they could have dropped history, and that third and fourth year could have just been classics. So they could have graduated in classics even though they applied for history. So that's the system that we have in Scotland. It's much more flexible. We do allow students, as long as they've started the course from year 1, you could in theory graduate in that course. It doesn't matter what you've applied for as much. We will allow you to change your minds. So it's a year longer, but it's like an extra year at the beginning of your degree rather than at the end. It's a year where you'll get to do much more general study. We like to think it gives you a much broader base to draw on anyway. This person who has graduated in history, they also know about classics, they also know about archaeology, know about other areas as well. They're not just someone who only knows about history. So when you're applying as well to Scottish universities, the ancient universities will also call their degrees different things. So we have 4 ancient institutions. There's St Andrews, Edinburgh, Glasgow and Aberdeen. And if you do any degree like this, we'll call it an MA. It won't be a BA, it will be down as an MA, because the idea and the tradition of this course is that you become a master of the arts. You know, you've done lots of different things. So it does get confusing because you can put that on your CV and it looks like you've got a master's degree. So you can continue with that if you like. That's one of the advantages. But that's a little quirk in the system as well. So if you are on UCAS, you'll see that the same course in England for history will be a BA. One of the older Scottish ones will be calling it an MA. It's the same course. It's the same standard of course. It's just because you'll be doing these extra subjects, we're calling it an MA. So this system is available to all programmes in anything with arts, anything to do with social sciences, and anything to do with any area of science in Scotland. This is the model that you would be put into. This doesn't apply if you're doing medicine. Okay, medicine students don't start doing a bit of French, the same amount of French as they're doing medicine and all the rest of it. They focus specifically on medicine. Engineering students focus specifically on engineering. So the system isn't used for absolutely everything, but for most of the subjects we offer, it tends to be arts, social science and science programmes. That's what happens in Scotland. You do a broader base. I think a couple of years ago, I don't know if the statistics are still the same at the moment, but I know that 2 years ago, Scotland had a higher graduation rate than the rest of the UK. And although we don't know for sure why that is, we do think it's because of this system. Because if you're allowed to change your mind while you're on the course, you are going to have a better chance of graduating because you are going to take something that you want to study rather than something you feel you've been forced to study because you don't want to drop out of the programme. For postgraduate study, we've got very similar setup to the rest of the UK. We mainly offer top master's degrees that are 1 year in length. Usually that's divided between 9 months of taught classes where it's similar to a bachelor's degree and you're going along to lectures and things. But there's 3 months at the end where you will do a dissertation, an extended piece of research work. And that research is really what gives you the master's qualification. That's what separates a master's from a diploma or another kind of certificate, is the fact you've done this 3 months of research. And that's commonly across Scotland the terminology. So we will call things an MSc. We have business courses that will be MBAs, MEds for education and LLM for law courses. Now, instead of MA, so if you're doing an arts course, because we're already calling it an MA at undergraduate level, we'll call that an MLit when you're looking for postgraduate courses in arts or social science areas. So, just be aware of that. And there are research options as well. If you'd rather do a one-year degree but do it more independently, you can do MScs by research, where 90% of the class or the programme will not be taught in a class. It will be done by your own research, coursework, examinations and things like that. There are also PhD courses which are very popular, and again in Scotland, like the rest of the UK, typically a PhD should last 3 years unless you take a bit more time on it, in which case it can be extended beyond that.